The forecast should call for a shitstorm, because that's pretty much all that started brewing once Valve announced that on Steam, any of the mod creators on there can actually start charging for their creations. In addition to charging for their creations within the modding community, they can also take in donations, or they can just do nothing whatsoever and allow it to be up there for free like it normally is. Now, naturally, this just caused a big fucking gigantic dwarfing tidal wave of negativity to go and spring in, and rightfully so, considering the fact for decades, things have been a certain way, a particular way, and now all of a sudden, this is being initiated. And this is a cause for concern for many people within the PC gaming community, considering the fact that modding is one of the main reasons that makes PC gaming as illustrious and amazing as it is. At least in my opinion, one of the reasons why I've always enjoyed PC gaming. Hell, many titles out there have had tons and tons of years added to their longevity due to the fact that the modding community kept those games alive and kept them interesting and amusing for everybody to go and try out, and turned them sometimes into completely brand new games. Hell, as a matter of fact, Valve themselves have been smart enough to keep their ear close to the ground to go and listen and watch for all sorts of things. They have multiple different brands and franchises, all thanks to the modding community, and then we have this. Now, the polarizing opinions part is something I want to go and talk about the good and the bad aspects of this, because despite the fact I disagree with a lot of shit going on with it, there is actually some positivity in it. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if it were up to me, and if I were going to choose the way that they should go about things, they should make it so that there is no just pay for it outright option. That should be abolished. The main thing that they ought to go with is having the little tip jar. You know, you ought to be able to go and donate money assuming that you enjoy the mod and you got your use out of it. I think that makes sense. There's nothing wrong with something like that. If an individual or an entire group of individuals slave away for a very long time making one of the most amazing mods for a game that you like a whole lot, and you have just poured hours upon hours of your time into this, and you want to toss them a couple dollars, nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, I would go and embrace an idea like that, because then it gets people to really try to invest their actual fucking sweat of their brow into making these creations more and more, and they can see that appreciation back from things outside of just, you know, reviews and ratings and stuff like that. But when you have a pay-only option on there, then you're going to run into this big clusterfuck. A clusterfuck that could be most closely associated with the mobile gaming scene. How many fucking games do you see on there that are a copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste of previous works? And people are making money off of that, and that first person, that first group of individuals that decided that they were going to make that creation, and then they're watching somebody else run rampant right through the mobile gaming market and make tons of money off of their work, and all they did was change up a couple sprites, at least you feeling pretty fucking pissed off. That's all there is to it. And you don't want to see the modding community get like that. You know, people will be out there going and tossing out all sorts of things with just minor little tweaks, little hacks, little changes here and there, and then charging money for it. You know, and the one thing I did like about this was they do offer a money back guarantee within the first 24 hours of your purchase of said mod. The downside to that is the big gigantic loophole, the big fucking elephant in the room that everybody should take note of. And that's, there's plenty of people out there, myself included, with all intents and purposes of playing something, usually don't get to it within the first 24 hours. When you're leading a busy life from work, school, just playing other games in general, you don't always have time to be able to get to something, and you just want to go and scoop it up while you're looking at it, or while it was on sale, or while it was available, or while you're thinking about it, whatever it is. You know, if you don't get to it, then what? Is this going to be a case-by-case scenario? You know, I don't know if this is in a very fucking fine print that they have for this, but that's going to be something else to be a cause for alarm, and going to end up having nothing but tumultuous bullshit occur time and again from people being angry that they went and they got a mod that crashed the system, made the game unplayable, and then they have to go through all the effort and go to task to take this fucking mod out that they just got done paying for. Meanwhile, mods were just fucking free all the way up until, well, now? You know, that's the kind of shit right there that would piss people off. But I do like the idea that they could have like a tip jar and some shit like that. I think that's fine. I would roll with an idea like that, and I think that should be there by proxy. You know, plenty of people out there do that, and it would avoid all the shit that I'm talking about right now. But then we again come to the downside of it. You know what kind of cut Valve takes from all this stuff? Okay, on Steam, if you were to go and make a mod, and your mod, you know, is some amazing shit, and you're like, oh, it's like $10 for it, which I still think is way too fucking high for a mod, but, you know, we'll get to that later. But they take 75% of that. So Steam takes 75%, you keep 25%. You want to know what something like this ends up doing? Because of the amount of money, the big fucking percentage that they take from this, that means that people are going to start overcharging for all of their fucking mods. So then left and right, what was once going to be the complete Wild West of, you know, the fucking frontier of gaming within PC gaming, all of a sudden it's going to be nickel and diming, microtransactions, DLC, that whole entire fucking deal is going to be applied to this. That was one of the reasons why I always enjoyed PC gaming, was because anybody could do anything and everything that they wanted, and it was an enjoyable experience. Now all of a sudden it's just money, 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 money. And somebody can go and argue and try to go and flip this entire script trying to say, oh, well, you're just mad because you have to go and pay money. No, fucklick. The reason why I'm mad is because it could go and potentially rip off a bunch of consumers out there, and this kind of just ruins a lot of shit that has worked just fine for years. That's the thing. If you have something that works just fine, why fuck it up? Okay? You can't go and reinvent the wheel. But then I see, oh wait, they're taking 75% cut. Now all of a sudden things start making sense. You know, you would think, oh well, this is actually for the modders, so that they can go and accrue more money from doing this. Meanwhile, you're taking a 75% cut. If in all reality your main concern was about them, you wouldn't be taking that kind of a substantial cut from their kind of work. And on top of that, why don't you just make it just a donation jar? That's it. You want to take like, what, 5-10% from that? Whatever. But the idea that you're taking that much, you're making a pay-only option for some of this shit, and the entire fucking thing is gonna get blanketed with nothing but fucking copy-pasta bullshit of other people's work out there, or things that are just minor tweaks, shit that's gonna crash. There's tons of times that I personally, and I know damn well many of you out there, have downloaded some kind of mod. Shit didn't work, wasn't all that fun, wasn't all that fucking great, and now we're gonna have to deal with all this shit on top of that. We're gonna see all these fucking dollar signs popping up everywhere. One of the main reasons why I enjoy going onto Steam in general is because I can get games for a hell of a lot cheaper. Now all of a sudden this is being tacked onto it, and sure, somebody could say, well, just don't download it, just don't buy it. Look at the big fucking picture. If I haven't already beat the goddamn fucking idea into your fucking head, I sure as shit can get some kind of goddamn industrial drill and fucking leak it in if need be. This is something that can be the domino effect of an absolute fucking ruining. And nobody can see that kind of shit, you're fucking blind. That's all I'm gonna go and tell you. 75% for that kind of shit? Get the fuck out of here. Charging for things that have been free the entire time. Just making an option that they can go and get a donation. That's good enough right there, because I guarantee you, tons of people will line up from around the fucking block to go and download something for free. And then when somebody does actually enjoy it and appreciates the work that goes into it, guarantee it'll be a lot easier to get them to toss a couple dollars out than saying that there's going to be a $5 fucking charge at the door for you to go and get this, and then what? You're not going to see nearly as many sales from something like that. This is fucking business 101. And again, reinventing the wheel, that's what you're trying to do, and all you're doing is turning into one big goddamn fucking square, or fucking hexagon or some shit. It ain't gonna fucking roll nearly the same way. Trust me on that. Anyhow, everybody out there could feel completely different from me. Either way, I want to get this shit off my chest. I don't know if you have the same exact idea and mentality that I do, or whatever. Is a fucking comment box. Type in there, because, well, yeah, it's a topic and stuff like that. Anyhow, this is AlphaOmegaSin. As always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers. Game the fuck on.